Hello, dinosaur toy collectors. We're going to take a look at some AfterMarx figures here. These dinosaur figures are made by a company called Superior Toy and Manufacturing Company Incorporated, and they were based in Chicago. Now, this Superior company got hold of some of the Marx Prehistorics molds, and in 1987, they made 3 different play sets. And the only way you could get their dinosaur figures was in those play sets. They didn't sell them on cards or in bags or anything like that. You had to buy the play sets, and I don't think they were too plentiful. I don't remember ever seeing them. Of course, in 1987, I was still in the Army, and I was in Egypt for most of that year. And then after I got out, I actually got out of the Army and back into the world in early 1988, and the Superior playsets should have still, been around, but I never saw them. I was always on the lookout for monster toys and dinosaur toys. My whole life I've been on the lookout for that stuff, but I never saw those things. And I don't really think that they were too plentiful, even when they sold new for that one year and probably into the next year. That's the way that stuff usually goes. I mean, things linger, in stores, and sometimes they go on discount for a little while and, whatever. But I don't think these Superior dinos were too plentiful, but they're really in demand these days. A lot of people are into those sets made from the Marx molds, after Marx went out of business. The Marx Repops, or I call them the AfterMarx sets. But these Superior figures are probably among the most sought after because of the way that they're all swirled and marbled. It's like every Superior dinosaur is a premium piece. And they didn't really put many of the dinosaurs in their sets. They put a lot of cavemen, but not many dinosaurs. What you see before you here, this is the entirety of the Superior production for Marx. The Marx Repops. They had the medium mold group here in the front, these 6. And for Marx, that was mold group PL750. I don't know what Superior called it. But anyways, those 6 in front there. And then the large mold group right here, these 3. And then the second series mold group. So those are the only ones that Superior ever put in their play sets. And they're in 3 different colors, and all of them are marbled and swirled and in different patterns. So basically, every single Superior dinosaur figure is unique. You might look real hard and find another one in that same color that's really close to that pattern, but I don't think you could find exact matches. It's like people's fingerprints or whatever. And that's another reason that collectors really want these things, because they're all basically one of a kind, And they're brightly colored, they're attractive. It seems like the plastic is a little bit more rigid and perhaps a little bit more brittle than the original Marx plastic. But these things, they seem to sell for like $15 or $20 a piece for the common ones. And for these larger ones here, I mean, on the order maybe of like $25 or $30 a piece. And that basically is quite a bit more than the average common original Marx piece of that type is going to sell for. Now, some of the Marx premium pieces would sell for in that neighborhood or maybe even more. Like, the ones that they put in the play sets, the metallic silver, those generally go for probably $30 or $40 now. It'd be one of these large mold dinosaur figures here. And then they had the metallic green. Those go a lot higher because they made less of them. And that weird chocolate brown color of the large mold group. Also, the marbled figures, the original figures by Marx, they sell for a premium, and they probably would sell for about what Superiors sell for. And it's kind of weird to think that these repops from 1987 would be so much more sought after than the original Marx from the late 50s and early 60s, you know, well, through the 60s. But that's just the way it works because there are so many fewer of the Superior dinos. So anyway, oh, and here's the cavemen in the front here. They are in two basic colors, and they aren't swirled or marbled. They're just solid. It's these reddish brown guys, and these ones in the beige right here. And basically, the three colors that all the Superiors are made in are the swirled green, and sometimes it's a real dark green, like this Chronosaurus. And it's got some mad texture on that thing, too. I want to show you all these up close. But anyway, it's the green, and it's the swirl gray, and it's the swirl brown. Those were the three colors in different shades, you know, of those colors. And some of the gray ones are really dark, like that Smilodon's really dark. Just depends on how much of the darker material that they swirled in is in them. But let's take a look at these sculpts. You've seen the sculpts if you've watched any of my other videos about Marx dinos. You've seen the sculpts, but it bears to repeat to look at these again because of these colors. I mean, just getting a look at the swirling up close is worthwhile. See, it's got the darker colors swirled in, blues, and these things look great set up. And I'm going to do videos on all three of the playsets. I have all three of them, so I'm going to show you the paperwork that came with them and all that. But in this video, I just wanted to go over the basics of Superior dinos and show you the basic figures and explain, you know, the entirety of what Superior made. And of course, this is the medium mold group we're looking at here. That was the Trachodon and the Hadrosaurus, and here is the Allosaurus. The brown looks really great. It's got black and kind of an orange swirled in with it, which is, I mean, it's kind of funny to call them beautiful. We know they're cool because we love our toy dinosaurs, but you know, in certain ways, these things are kind of beautiful. They're kind of like gems, you know. Yeah, this Superior company was really onto something when they went with this idea to swirl this plastic, because the most prized of the original Marx are the marbled ones of the common ones, not counting the premium pieces. That's the Ankylosaurus. And here is the Pteranodon in the green. It's got some blue there, and this swirling is unique to each one, you know. It's just like somebody's fingerprints. That exact pattern is probably never repeated. And I don't know how many of these things there are out in the world. You don't really see them that often. You see them occasionally on the internet auction sites. And like I mentioned, they just these common ones of any of the colors. I don't think any of the three colors are valued. This is a Stegosaurus, by the way. I don't think any of the three colors are valued that much over the other colors, but in general, it seems like they sell for like $15 or $20 a piece, and the larger ones more than that. Now, here's the large mold group. This Brontosaurus looks great in the brown. And you know, this could mimic the way dinosaur patterns really were, you know, because animals have natural camouflage. So, but anyway, I'm fairly certain that when these things were new, I don't know if they were regional or all over the country or what, but like I said, man, I never saw them. If I'd have seen these things, I'd have been all over them. I think the play sets were a little bit expensive too for the time and for the amount of things you got with it. I think the medium sized one was around 20 bucks, and you only got like 9 dinosaurs with the medium sized one, and you know, not a whole lot else really. Now you did get 24 cavemen with the medium sized one. That's one thing, they loaded you up with the cavemen. This is the Chronosaurus, and of course, here's the potbelly T-Rex I just showed in the gray. All right, that's a large mold group. That's PL749 is the way it's designated by Marx. And here's the second series mold group, including the mammals. This is the woolly mammoth. Looks kind of funny to see it in green, but you know, a brown swirled woolly mammoth would be really cool, or even a gray one, you know, would look great. So it's kind of funny to see it in the green, but that's just what I ended up with. Because I don't have many of these. I mean, I was looking for them years ago. I put my sets together for these years ago on you know, from offerings from eBay sellers, and maybe 8 years ago is when I bought mine. This is the Megatherium in the green as well, and you never see that many listings for these on there. This is the Iguanodon. This is in the gray, of course. That finicky camera wants to take a long time to focus sometimes, even blocking off the background. And it seems like it has problems focusing on certain colors. But anyway, that's the Iguanodon. Here's the moss chops in the green. Cool looking little guy. Yeah, that swirling pretty dramatic on these things. And dinosaur collectors, most of them love these things. Here's the Struthiomimus in the brown. Lots of black swirled in there. It seems like they put more black in with the brown, and with the green they swirled in more dark green and blue. The tail, it looks a little short molded on these superior Struthiomimus. The tail is longer on the Marx. I don't know if that's a mold issue that developed later. Like, it wasn't long after this that the second series mold for the Megatherium was unusable. They still made the 7 of the 8 creatures, but not the Megatherium, because something happened to the mold that damaged it. So maybe that also affected the tail on the Struthiomimus. I'm not sure. Here's the Parasaur Olephus. Cool swirling on that one. Yeah, if I'd have seen these on the shelf when they were available, I would have bought as many of these sets as I could have. Like I was saying, I believe the medium-size play set by Superior sold for around $20, and the small one probably, I would estimate maybe $12, maybe up to $15. This is a Smilodon. This is a really great one. It's in the gray and it's swirled with a lot of dark color there. Look at the patterns on that thing, man. And you know, the large one now, it's a mountain set. This is a Styracosaurus. It's got some neat swirling, dramatic patterns. But the large play set by Superior is a mountain set. And they use the big mountain, the larger size mountain, I think from the Marx Comanche Pass set, because their other terrain is the rock bridge that connected the two mountains with Comanche Pass, and also the loose boulder. Uh, those are the terrain pieces, which ends up looking kind of weird, you know. I mean, it's like they want you to keep the boulder halves apart and put them on the, you know, on the surface to make it look like it's, you know, like a little rock sticking out of the ground or maybe a hill or something like that. But anyway, uh, the terrain is a bit of a weakness for these sets. The dinosaurs are the strength for the Superior. The terrain is a bit of a weakness. And the real weakness are the boxes. And it's not the designs on the box. The boxes look great. And I'm going to show those to you in my other videos when I cover the play sets. But the problem is they're so thin. They did not hold up. Matter of fact, I have never seen the large Superior playset offered for sale. They call their playsets the rulers of the earth. They're dinosaur playsets by Superior. They're all three called the rulers of the earth. And the boxes are designed really well. They look great. And, you know, they're just so thin. They're not corrugated like the old Marx boxes. Those things were pretty tough, and those are mostly still around. I've got the two boxes for, you know, like the small and the medium size play set. But the large one, I have never seen that for sale. I don't think many of those still exist because they're just thin cardboard. And when you take something that big with a big mountain section in it, and it gets knocked around over the years, you know, it would have been hard to find those new in the store undamaged. So it's hard for it to hold up. I'm sure a few of them made it, but they're really scarce now. Those big boxes, I'm certain they would have to be. So anyway, that is a look at the Superior dinos and cavemen. And I could show you that. I mean, I've showed you these cavemen before in other videos, but maybe you haven't seen my other Marx videos yet. So let me go over the sculpts on these. These are the reddish brown ones, kind of a brick red. This is a guy walking with the club. They're the cavemen mold group, the same 6 poses repeated. And here's the guy with the stone axe and the knife. So anyway, Superior gave you a lot of cavemen. They were heavy on the cavemen. Even the small set, you only got like 5 or 6 dinosaurs. It says on the box you get 5, but I have the small set that I have has bags that are still sealed, and one of them is the medium mold group, which is 6, and those are the dinos that came with that set. So that's 6. But anyway, this is the little short guy with the spear here. I was going to say the large playset for the rulers of the earth. You know, if the other two might sell for $12 and $20, here's the crouching guy hitting the rocks together there. The large one, I mean, I just hazard a guess that at least maybe $35 or $40, maybe more. And you know, those prices in 1987 for prehistoric playsets, that's kind of high. And a lot of parents might balk at giving that much money for something that they remember from being kids, that they might consider kind of kind of passe at that point, you know, like from the 50s and 60s. And hey, that might be another reason that you don't see much of the superior product in the marketplace, because maybe the market wasn't there for them. You know, the costs of manufacturing on those things might have gotten pushed up to the point to where it drove the retail prices up on the play sets to the point where they didn't really sell very many of them. So that's something to think about too. Anyway, they are fairly scarce in the marketplace, complete play sets. Now, I did check eBay before I did this video. I didn't see a sign of a mountain set on there, the large play set, but the small play set, I saw that somebody has one that looks complete and in pretty decent shape on eBay now, and it's like 150 bucks. And the medium play set actually sold, and it was complete with a fairly decent box. Even that box though had tears in it. But the medium play set sold for 300. So that gives you kind of a ballpark idea of what some of this stuff sells for when you can find it. So that pretty much covers it. I'm not going to show the beige cavemen because they're the same as far as the sculpts go. It's just a different color. I will show one of them so you can see the color up close. It's just kind of a cream color, kind of reminiscent of the old cream color Marx cavemen without that yellowish hue that those had. And there we go. That covers the Superior Toy and Manufacturing Company Incorporated's dinosaur figures and caveman figures that only came out in 1987 as far as I know. And they're highly sought after by collectors now. So I'm also, like I mentioned, I'm going to do 3 more videos on Superior, one each on each of the play sets, and of course I'll go through all the detail I normally go through, and I'll show you all the components and the paperwork and the boxes in detail, and I'll set them up for you at the end of it and do the little fly around so you can see it, you know, better as it's set up. So that's it for this time. See you guys later.